Hello, my name is Hagar Collier. I'm in the Supported Employment and Transition Unit. Callie Jacobs, a work incentives consultant, is joining me today. Today, we are here to talk about work incentives for summer youth work experience. Callie, I'll pass it over to you.
We'll start out by talking about probably the greatest work incentive for SSI beneficiaries who are students, the Student Earned Income Exclusion, or SEIE. This can be taken advantage of by beneficiaries under the age of 22 who earn income while attending school. This exclusion means the SSA will not count up to $2,220 of earned income per month with a cap of $8,950 per year. In order to qualify, you must attend school in one of these capacities. In grades 7 through 12 for at least 12 hours per week, and that does include homeschooling. Attending college or university classes for at least 8 hours per week. Participating in a training course to prepare for employment for at least 12 hours a week. Or enrolled in an online school or university that has been approved by the SSA. It's important to note that the SEIE can be used by students over the summer while they are not attending classes, as long as they intend to return in the fall. Reporting wages is necessary no matter what work incentive or income exclusion the student is eligible for. Consistently reporting wages will prevent over or underpayments from Social Security. The classic options for reporting wages through the mail or in person are still available. But for those who may be more comfortable using technology, you can now report wages through the SSA's mobile app or an online Social Security account. You will have to create a My Social Security account through ssa.gov and also have the employer's EIN number in order to report electronically. The EIN number should be listed on the pay stub. You can also sign up through the SSA website to receive monthly email or text reminders to report those wages. In the letter catalog in AWARE, there is a letter of verification called the SSA Student Exclusion Letter that staff can provide to students who receive wages through summer youth services. The student can then give this letter to the Social Security Administration along with their paycheck stub when they report their income. The SEIE exclusion should automatically be applied by the SSA with or without this letter, but it should be recommended to the student just to cover all bases and for record-keeping purposes. We all know each student's family, financial, and benefit situation is unique. Work incentives planning is a great service available that provides that personalized benefits guidance. A work incentives plan, also known as a WIP, would allow the exploration of other work incentives besides the SEIE based on that participant's specific situation. Please reach out to your area's work incentive consultant if you want more information about those other work incentives or on how to refer for a WIP. Also, with every WIP, we discussed their resource limits. For SSI and Medicaid, that resource limit is only $2,000. Stable accounts are an excellent way to combat those resource limits. Stable accounts are available to those whose condition or disability developed before the age of 26. Any funds put into the stable account are not taxable and do not count towards resource limits, including the resource limits of SSI and Medicaid. These funds will also not affect eligibility for SNAP or HUD housing. It's pretty easy to set up one of these accounts. You just go to www.stableaccount.com and it'll take about 15 minutes and $52, which is the $25 initial deposit and then the $27 annual fee. There are 5 investment options available through Vanguard Life Strategy. There are allowed contributions up to $17,000 a year and a maximum allowable balance of $523,000. The money must be spent on qualified disability expenses that will help to maintain or improve health, independence, and/or quality of life. Almost anything besides alcohol, nicotine, or gambling could be considered a qualifying expense. For example, if a participant thinks an Xbox will improve the quality of their life, then that's a qualified expense. The goal of providing this information is to help us ease the fear of the loss or lessening of benefits. This fear may not necessarily come from the participant themselves, but from the parent or guardian. Some actions that can be taken to help ease those fears are referring for a WIP before the summer youth work experience begins. If possible, a WIP should be authorized a couple months in advance to allow time for verifications to come back and for the report meeting to take place. If extra help is needed reporting wages, an auth or referral for work incentives coordination can be completed. Another way to ease fears is to stress that the income received from the summer youth work experience will not exceed the limits of the SYWE. If eligible for the SYWE, they will be able to keep their whole SSI payment along with their earnings. We already mentioned there may be fear from the parents or guardians, and I think we can all understand that fear. If a parent or guardian receives SSI themselves, has more than one child, and relies on SNAP to help feed their family, we could understand them not wanting their child to earn income if they thought it would cause them to lose their cash and food assistance. The information on the slide will go a long way in easing those very reasonable fears and helping parents and guardians to understand that their child can try work without it negatively affecting the family. Firstly, there is no deeming of the child's income. This means a child's income cannot be counted to reduce a parent's SSI amount. Secondly, there are income exclusions for SNAP, OWF, which is cash assistance, and HUD. Per Ohio Administrative Code, for those 17 and under and enrolled in school for the next year, the income made during the summer youth service will not affect their family's SNAP benefits. Also, for those under 18 who are full-time students, their income does not count towards OWF. Per the HUD handbook, earned income for those under 18 does not count towards annual income for HUD. Now that we have this information about the student earned income exclusion, resource limits, and other income exclusions, we can ask targeted questions to determine the student's situation and the work incentives and exclusions that might be available. This will help ease concerns and shine a positive light on participating in the summer youth work experience. Some questions could be, are you planning on returning to the school in the fall or enrolling in college classes? Do you know how much you receive in SSI every month? A big question to ask, are you planning on saving or spending the money you earn? This can open the door to conversations about stable accounts, budgeting, and money management. If they have waiver services through the county board, you might reach out to their SSA to see if money management could be added to their plan. Another resource for financial literacy and benefits in general can be found at the Disability Benefits 101 website, oh.db101.org.
So you have a participant you want to refer for benefits planning. There are two options available for participants. If you have someone who is connected with the County Board of DD, you can refer them to an internal work incentives consultant. If the participant is not connected with the County Board of DD or a WIC is not available, they can be referred externally to a CRP. We have internal WICs in all 5 regions. To do a referral, you would fill out the OOD Work Incentives Planning Services referral form. Along with that form, you should try to obtain signatures from the participant on the SSA Consent for Release form and any other relevant releases, such as a release for Job and Family Services or for the local housing authority. The SSA consent forms cannot be signed electronically, so a wet signature is needed. You will create separate case notes for each document in AWARE under the category Benefits Information. If you are unable to obtain the signatures on the consent forms prior to the referral, the WIC will reach out to both you and the individual to get signatures. If you are doing the referrals prior to a summer youth work experience, it would be helpful to get any signatures prior to the referral to prevent any delays. Okay, so you have obtained signatures for the releases and completed the referral form and have them in AWARE. So what's next? Internally, you will create an activity due for the WIC that you are working with. Make sure that the reminder date is set as the date you are entering the referral. If you're referring to a CRP, you will create an authorization and will have the releases and the WIP referral form sent with it. To recap, make sure to remind students that they have to report their summer youth work experience to SSA. It will likely not affect their SSI, but they still need to report it. Try to ease parent fears by having conversations around work incentives before the summer youth work experience begins. If it is appropriate, you can provide resources to go over with them or to share with them. And finally, if you are having a question about how working will affect the student's benefits, reach out to the WICs. If you are unsure if they would qualify for any work incentives, reach out to the WICs. If you have questions about what consents they may need for work incentives planning, they can help you navigate those questions about work incentives that you may not have the answer to. Here are some resources that you are able to share with individuals and families. First, there is a website for the National Disability Institute for Financial Wellness, which has some financial literacy tools on that site. Next, there's the DB 101 website, which discusses SSI and youth who work. There is also 2 fact sheets from our procedures, Student Earned Income Exclusion fact sheet and Reporting Your Income fact sheet, that are available on the OOD website. Here you will find our contact information. Again, I'm Hagar Collier, an RPS for Employment First. Jessica Folsom is the Supervisor and Program Administrator for Employment First and Work Incentives. If you have questions or need work incentives in the Northeast area, contact Carol Buckwalter. In the Southwest, contact Jeannie Hall. Or you can contact Alma Coleman, who is in the Southwest and Northwest area. You may also contact Callie Jacobs in the Northwest area. Sam Watanabe is available in the East Central and Southeast area. Thank you.